a shotgun rider, cruise through the country, maybe pulling all nighter. Every little body needs a Clyde decider. Come on, baby, be my shotgun rider.
Back here for another edition of the Scoop and Skip. Interesting weekend up in Illinois. Not quite as bad as last year. We did get a win Friday night, but it's certainly not what the Hoosiers were looking for.
Yeah, I mean, it was started off well. You know, Joey Donato came out and had a very solid performance for us on Friday, and I actually said after the first inning, I said we may only have to get him a run because that dude was on. I could just tell by the way that he was throwing. But much like every other game or series in the Big Ten, you cannot sit back and rest on your laurels because you know the teams are going to come out ready to play the rest of the weekend, and Illinois took the last two, and you know, but to go on the road, good baseball team and whatever. You know, yeah, I'm happy with the win. I'm not happy that we lost the series, but we're still in the thick of it.
And when the dust settled, Hoosiers now 5-4 in the Big Ten play. It's good for a second place, three-way tie for second. But we and you were talking off camera how important every game is right now. Separating second place in the standings, seventh place in the standings, just a half game. So
well,
really cluttered.
It seems to be shaping up like it was last year. And that is, it's like you try to impress upon the guys that every single game is important, and you can't take one off because it can come down to that keeping you out of. Like last year, going into that last weekend, we're playing potentially for second place, and we finished seventh. And I can see that it's kind of shaping up that way across the Big Ten again this year. A lot of parity in the Big Ten. Yeah,
certainly a lot of parity going on in the team standings. Not much parity in the Player of the Week lately. Sam Travis had won the last two. Fortunately, that reign ends this week, but we didn't have a chance to talk about Travis last week. So talk about Sam, back-to-back, not Freshman of the Week, Player of the Week.
Well, that's impressive. You know, we've talked about it on this show before, the caliber of play in the Big Ten. So when a freshman can go be the Player of the Year in the Big Ten, that's something else. And to be back-to-back on that and getting a second one last week is huge compliments to Sam and what he's been able to do. Very, very consistent player. You know, and I look at it, it's a guy we're going to have around for a couple more years too, so that's a good thing for us. But congratulations to him on his second Player of the Week.
And before we start talking about the upcoming week, let's take a look at some of the travel issues of the guys. It's rough on the student athletes, all the bus rides and trips they got to make.
Well, the viewers might see, right? I'm a little tired right now, a little tired, been traveling and all that good stuff, but nothing compares to if you check these guys out right here when we travel. Interesting sleeping, you know. It seems to be the freshmen. A lot of the freshmen there, Kyle. We got Soika there. He's nodding off there. You know, I can't really see the drool there. We got Sater. He's kind of in his la-la land right there. And you got Willie Nolan. He's out, you know. And you got Hart sitting next to him. And I think Hart's like thinking or in deep thought right there by checking that out. And it was funny when we got to where we were going, Luke Harrison was complaining about a stiff and sore neck. Well, I wonder why. I mean, look at this sleeping.
Pretty obvious.
Yeah, look at this sleeping position. Either he dropped something down his pants, or you know, look at that would hurt. That hurts my neck just looking at it. But my favorite of all the sleeping photos is the human flycatcher, Colin McHenry here doing his best to attract flies as he's nodding off, and there has to be some drool on that one. So, but yeah, those are the guys. Coach Greenspan was running around the bus taking photos of guys catching a little extra Z.
Got a couple extra photos this week. How about the one from the Cordy family down in Disney?
Yes, I love this because this comes from Peggy Cordy. Here's a picture. Peggy on the Santa Monica Pier in California with Mickey and Minnie Mouse, and you can see that Mickey, Kyle, is a converted Hoosier fan. I'm sure that's probably a violation of some sort according to our compliance there, but
we're going to let it slide in
absolutely. But yeah, look at a little Mickey there, so we like that. Appreciate that from Peggy. We do have a question.
We do have a question?
We do have a question.
Jeff from Wolcott, I believe.
Yep, we got Jeff from Wolcott, Indiana. Skip, was a recent IU game, noticed the third base umpire pull out a stopwatch between innings. I was wondering if the speed-up rule has ever been called this season. If so, what is the penalty? Well, what Jeff is referring to there, folks, is the stopwatch now. They have 90 seconds between innings that you have to have your pitcher out there and throw the first pitch. And so he asked, has it been called yet this season? Yes, it actually was called, and the penalty is an automatic ball. I think it was at Penn State, if I'm not mistaken. We ended up getting the hitter out, but the umpire will call ball right away on the batter if that first pitch is not thrown in 90 seconds.
And I believe it's a strike if the batter's not in the box. Is that correct?
Yes, I haven't seen that one. They're more lenient with those guys, I think. So.
Well, Skip, for the loyal listeners, they know that we like to do some recon missions on the scoop. You and Clayton went down to Kentucky a couple years last year, I believe.
Proved to be beneficial too.
It did as well, obviously with the upset of the Wildcats. We sent Rockin Todd. We played Michigan State this weekend. He was in East Lansing recently, and he sent us a video back.
Well, not to be outdone. I mean, it must be something about water and aquatics in this show. And so, yeah, Rockin Todd up in he went up to East Lansing doing a little recon mission for us here. We'll see how that bodes for us as we have the Spartans in this weekend. It should be a very, very good series. But yeah, check this out because it's the one and only Rockin Todd Reed in the water.
Hello, Hoosiers. This is Rockin Todd coming from East Lansing, Michigan, home of Michigan State University. Up here on a surplus conference, packed nothing but IU gear. And as you see the IU flag hanging above me, here in their pool room at the Marriott, just want to say, go Hoosiers, Hoosier baseball.
And Skip, I got to ask, a little bit of jealousy? He took your hot tub episode, he kind of went up to you.
I just want to know how that had the program manager here because I get voted down for a year or two hot tub, and then we let Rockin Todd flex in the hot tub.
He had the Indiana flag up behind him. I mean, he had it going on.
Yeah, I'll give it to him, though. So thanks, Todd. We'll see if that proves valuable information as we head into the weekend against the Spartans.
Before we take on the Spartans, we got a midweek game, 26-7. The Sycamores coming to town, one of the best batting averages in the country. Talk about the challenges of Indiana State.
Yeah, I saw that, and I was looking over their stuff today. Very good, very good opponent. They're going to be ready to play, and we actually played over there. Didn't play our best baseball, but they're going to move the ball around and do some different things. Our focus again is going to probably be to try to use multiple pitchers and just make sure that we're ready on the weekend. I'm sure Indiana State, the same thing. But what we have to do is a better job and use that game as a preparation for our at-bats as we roll into the weekend.
Plenty of chances for the fans to come out to Sembar Field over the next 2 weeks. 8 of the next 9 games at home, including Michigan State this week. I want to talk about that series first.
Well, I mean, they're good. I mean, they were picked to be at the top of the league again this year, and I know right now they haven't hit stride yet, but that's the thing that worries me about those guys. I know the talent they have on that team, so we're taking nothing for granted. I mean, we're sitting in second place right now, but as you said, that could change at any moment, and every game is important, and we're going to treat it that way, and as I expect Michigan State will too, but we're just going to go out and try to do what we do best, which is play Indiana baseball and pitch it and hopefully, pick it up and put together quality bats, and then we'll see where we are at the end of the weekend. But it's going to be certainly a challenge for us for sure.
And after people leave the game Saturday from Sembar, encourage them to head over to the Yogis. We were talking about the St. Baldrick's off fair. My awful haircut in a previous episode. We'll see here maybe before and after. I'm shaving my head for childhood cancer. It's a project that's pretty dear to my heart. I had a friend pass away in 4th grade, so we want to help out. Joe Bender, he works for the bookstore, our friends over at the bookstore, and encourage people to head out and donate some money.
So there's your head of hair, and then this is what you look like without hair?
That's a little bit of Photoshop skills.
That looks, it's pretty good. But I would keep the hair eventually. I mean, I hope it grows back for your sake.
Looking at my dad's head of hair, I think I'm pretty safe, hopefully. But
so if people want to jump on board that cause, what can they do?
They can head to my Twitter page, and there it is at the bottom of the screen. Feel free to donate. Head out to Yogis. It should be a good time. Of course, that's after you leave Sembar Field.
Absolutely.
After Michigan State, got another home week, play Louisville, and how about a little 5 weekend, a bunch of alumni in town, Georgia Southern. So a lot of opportunities coming up.
A little 5 weekend at home. I don't know if I like that combination.
A lot of alumni in town.
I know. Well, we'll make sure the boys stay on task, and a lot going on that time. But I look forward to seeing everybody. Got a special episode coming up for everybody next week, and we'll keep it a secret under wraps right now. But make sure to tune in next week, and appreciate everybody's support. We need more than one question, so get those questions coming. We'll see you next week on Skip Scoop.